Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share what's in my bag and first impressions of my Kelly 25 Cellier Touch right here. I feel like I haven't done a what's in my bag video in a while, and it's probably because I haven't been purchasing too many handbags, and then of course in the last couple of months I purchased several, haven't I? So I do plan on doing what's in my bag and first impression videos of all of them. This is the first of the new set of handbags I got, so I figured it was good timing for me to share an update. And I also know with the different sizes of Hermes handbags, it's helpful to know like what fits inside or what I typically carry, how heavy I feel like it is. And I do have some thoughts on the Kelly style itself that I also want to share based on some of my early kind of use with this handbag. So let's get rolling. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on any of the Hermes handbags. What's your favorite? All of your support really means a lot to me. As always, I start out the what's in my bag and first impressions by sharing an overview, the specifics of the style that I have. So I have the Kelly 25 Touch Cellier in noir, madame leather, gold hardware, and it is the Nilo crocodile on the handle and the sangles as well. The back is plain, the bottom looks like so. I will link the haul video where I shared this piece and all of my other gorgeous pieces from Hawaii. I'll link it up above and in the description box down below so you can see like a lot more detail and the story behind it and all of that good stuff. But this is the Kelly style that I have in my collection that I am super lucky to have. I don't think there's too much more to describe in terms of specs for this piece because it's color, leather, size, style, and stitch. Kelly styles will come with additional little dust bags. One has the clochette, and you'll see that the lock also has the crocodile covering. Actually, this whole piece is in the same exotic leather as the Touch components. The other little dust bag will have the strap. This is a shoulder strap. This one is in madame leather, and it is the full shoulder strap for the bag. And let me go ahead and add the shoulder strap so you can see it on here while we go through the video as well. All right. I typically don't have the clochette on the bag, so I'm just gonna leave this off for now, but I did add the strap here. It's just hanging out. So now I'm gonna roll into what's in my bag. This is typically what I will carry on a day-to-day basis when I am using this handbag. Let me open up my bag so I can share what's inside. Ooh, so inside it looks like this. I have quite a bit of items in here. Let's see, first and foremost is my wallet. This is the Chanel Classic Classic flap card holder from 21K in the lilac caviar. This is actually turning into my favorite card holder style. I'm actually a little bit surprised, to be honest. But this is the card holder, this is the wallet that I've pretty much been using ever since I got this piece, and it fits very comfortably inside the Kelly 25. The other item inside my handbag is, of course, my little Fendi key pouch, the Fendi Celleria key pouch. If you've watched a lot of my what's in my bag videos, like none of these items should be particularly surprising because it's pretty much the same things that I'll carry in all of my handbags. I don't have like too many different styles of SLGs to be putting in, which is why this Fendi key pouch pretty much comes in every single what's in my bag video. But this has like my eye drops, lip balm, band-aids, hair ties. Like it has all of the like little things that I want to carry around with me just in case I need them. And like for size comparison, they're pretty similar to the Chanel card holder, even in like thickness to the flap style, because the flap is a significant amount like kind of thicker than your typical really slim card holder. So these are about the same size. I'd say if you had a key clay, so like one where you actually housed your keys in them, that it'll be about a similar size to one of these. So if one's a wallet and one's a key clay, like you can use that to be like a general estimate for what fits inside. The other thing I have are my keys in this Vuitton key ring. I prefer to carry my keys loose like this versus having them in their own pouch necessarily. So that's why you'll see that my keys are just like open like this. And actually, last but not least is hand sanitizer. This is a larger kind of size hand sanitizer that fits really comfortably inside the Kelly 25. This is one that I cannot carry when I'm using any of my other like mini handbags. And honestly, that's pretty much it. With those items in here, there is still some space. If I had to carry a pair of sunglasses, I do think they would fit pretty comfortably as long as they're in a really slim case, if not a soft case. But you know, like the big bulky hard cases might take up too much space. The Kelly does have a zip pocket in the back. I'm gonna try and show you a little bit, which houses the rain jacket for this bag, but outside of that, I don't have anything in that back pocket, and I tend not to use any of the pockets in my Hermes handbags anyway. So I hope that helps you get a sense of what generally fits inside a Kelly 25. A full-size wallet also fits pretty comfortably inside here. I have like a compact Bjorn that also fits inside. The 25 size can be considered small, but I don't think it's necessarily like a mini bag size, because even with my essentials in here, there is some room for some additional things if I need to carry them. So I consider this more like a small size handbag and not quite a mini. And you know that I have a lot of mini bags in my collection, so this is definitely like a larger handbag for me, even though it could be a pretty small handbag for others. So just keep that in mind as well. I'm going to move on to some of my first impressions. I love this handbag, actually. I love looking at it. It gives me that kind of, it's just really pretty to look at, and it's also really pretty when I'm carrying it as well. I know pretty is not the only thing, like it needs to be functional and all these other things, but there is definitely, it just gives me that yummy feeling when I look at it, which is really a plus, honestly. I'm gonna set my handbag to the side so I'm not like holding it and juggling it around. The big question that I had when I was getting this Kelly style was whether this opening here was going to bother me, whether I was going to rip my hair out trying to get in and out of my bag every time. And shockingly, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean this is the easiest handbag to get in and out of, if that makes sense. It's not quite like the Birkin that you can kind of leave open and grab in and out. It's not quite like a Chanel Classic flap where you can kind of one-hand maneuver. Well, I guess if you have a double flap, it gets a little bit harder, but you know what I mean. Like it's not quite an easy mechanism like just a turn lock. It is one that requires a little bit more maneuvering to get it open. But the fact that I have to go through that doesn't actually bother me as much as I thought it would. My boyfriend jokes that this is the best handbag to carry whenever I don't really want to pay for anything. Because by the time I manage to get my wallet out of my bag, it's like, oh, okay, fine, I got it. But you know, we now have like Apple Pay and, you know, digital wallets. So it's not like you have to always have your wallet on you to pay, but you get what I'm saying. It has sort of become an ongoing joke in this household. I can't quite explain it really well in like a really rational way why that doesn't bother me. It might be because I'm maybe still in a bit of a honeymoon period with this handbag because it is still so new in my collection. I anticipated that the opening and closing of this bag was really going to bother me, but I was a bit surprised by how much it didn't. So I wanted to share that in case anybody has been completely put off getting the Kelly style because of this opening, like feeling like this is going to be really bothersome. I am surprised that it hasn't bothered me as much. The other kind of shocking thing about this handbag, for me at least, I don't use the shoulder strap as much as I thought. When I was getting the Kelly style, I was like, yes, this is awesome. I'm gonna have a shoulder strap. I have that option. I actually prefer carrying it handheld. And I don't know if that's just me, changes in my overall preferences of handbags, where I'm more okay hand holding my bags, but that was also a bit surprising to me. Like, I thought I would always go for the strap on the bag and always go for putting it on my shoulder, but more often than that, I find myself wanting to actually carry it just with the top handle. So I will leave the clochette and the strap at home. I won't even leave them in the bag because I don't want to add weight to it either. So I'll just leave those at home and I'm just carrying it from the top handle. Don't get me wrong, I love having the option of the strap for sure, but I don't like go for it as much as I thought I would. Oh, the other thing about the strap that sort of bothered me, like the detachable strap, it's not that easy to put on. Maybe it's just me and I'm not used to it. Maybe it's because I don't use the strap very often, but the hardware itself looks like a little V, if that makes sense. And so one part is connected to the top handle and it looks like a little V because the other kind of D-ring is on a little angle. And I thought that was brilliant design. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's to make it so much easier for you to put the strap on. But even with that extra bit of space, it's hard. Like I am sitting here like really like maneuvering. More often than that, I find myself pinching down the lobster claw to open it, and then I just sort of like swoop it under, and it's much more of like an abrasive action, like a friction action than I really want. I like when you can just clip your thing on like in the air, you know what I mean? Like without it being touching other things or really interfering with other things. Like it's just so much easier if you can just like go like straight on. But for some reason that just doesn't happen. And that was just a little surprising to me. That was something that I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get used to this. And honestly, I'm still not used to it. The one other thing I wanted to mention, and I do think this is a bit particular to this Madame Vo leather that I have it in, but it's a bit stiff to, it's not stiff. What's the word? The opening is a little restricted. And I think it's because the leather is not quite as broken in and, you know, used to being open and closed a lot. I'll open it this far like easily, but like to then get into my bag, I find myself often like I will minimally open it and then I will just like throw my wallet in there. Let me try to show you. So like I'll just go like whoop, instead of like, you know what I mean? Instead of like putting it, like placing it in my bag, I'm just sort of like, okay, I got through the opening, okay, goodbye. And it just like plops wherever. And then when I have to get it out, it's sort of similar because that opening isn't quite as spacious. I can't really look inside and I just sort of pry it open a little bit. I throw my hand in there and I grab what I need. That's definitely something that I'm like getting used to as well. Something that I noticed, something that I didn't expect. But I have seen other folks who have like maybe a Togo leather or Clemence leather and their Kellys look like beautifully open, you know what I mean? So I do really think it's because of the leather that I have mine in, and not so much strictly like a style problem. It's a little bit of like, I just like drop, and then just go in to grab my wallet and then drop it inside. But also because of that, it does require two hands. So I will either place it down somewhere to be able to open and then grab. I will place it on my lap if I need to. And slowly but surely, I've actually gotten much better at one hand operations. So like, it'll be like in one hand, I use my right hand to get the sangles out, open the flap, and then once it's open, I use both hands to kind of open and grab what I need. I feel like everything that I've said so far really doesn't convince you that this opening is not bothering me, right? But it really isn't that big of a deal. Maybe I blew it a bit out of proportion in my own mind before I got one. And that's why, like, relative to my expectations, it's less. But it's not that cumbersome, honestly. Top handle makes it so much easier that if I have to, like, I can use the one hand to open the flap and still get inside. I think that's the difference. That's why that's why this opening doesn't seem as troublesome as it might. My preference for carrying the bag is actually fully done up. I know there are lots of people who like to wear their Birkin, wear their Kelly like this, where the sangles are not done. And actually, if you carry it this way, it is actually really easy to get in and out of. You just literally just pop it open and then you feed it through. But I don't like having my sangles kind of flying free will. Oh, some people also will tuck the sangles in, sort of like this. And I like the look of this better than the sangles flapping on the outside, but I have a touch style and the sangles are part of what make it touch, you know, and make it really special. So I feel like it's really a loss if I carry it this way. So that's why I prefer to carry it fully done up. And that means I will put my sangles through the center and carry it like this. And then when I have to open it, I will then go through and I will feed one through, the other through, and then I open it. I think those are all of my first impressions. I mean, I really love the Kelly style. I love the Cellier style specifically. I love this kind of outer stitch versus it being stitched inward. And I'm so happy that I have a Kelly that is in that Cellier style. I love that it's touch. Right now, I don't actually handle or do anything different with this handbag. I know the handle is exotic, but I carry it like I would any other handbag. I'm not noticing anything to be particularly different. I think it's a bit early to say whether like the exotic leather changes or ages differently compared to like the calfskin, but so far it's been so good. So far, like initially I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have to do something different, but so far it's been pretty perfect. I'm really happy with this style. I love how much it fits. I love having the option of the strap, even though I don't use the strap as much as I thought. And my biggest takeaway once like actually using this piece is that this opening is not as big of a deal as I initially feared it might be. Please don't make me have to pick between a Birkin and a Kelly because I don't think I can do that yet. I really, really don't think I can. And I only say that because if you asked me right now, I think I would still say Birkin, but that's also because I've had that style for so much longer, you know what I mean? So I've had so many more use cases with it. I've used it in so many different ways that I feel like my answer is a bit biased. After I've used this for more time, I think I might be able to better answer that question. But in terms of sizing, I love the Kelly 25. I think it's a really good size. Like I said, it's a small size. It's a great size to take you from day through night. I don't think it's too small. Like I don't consider it to be a mini size. I definitely think it's a pretty good kind of petite handbag, like a small size handbag. Fits all of your essentials plus a little bit more. And the style itself is just so elegant. I mean, it's very iconic for Hermes, but I do like that there's no obvious branding on it, if that makes sense. Like there's no logo necessarily. And so I've enjoyed every time I'm able to carry this out, I've enjoyed it. It's never bothered me, just really like it. Let me know if you have a Kelly style or if a Kelly is on your wish list. I would love to hear what you like about it or what you don't like about it, how it's working for you. But if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!